We have a number of late season bloomers in our Native Splendor Garden that are coloring our autumn days. One of my favorite plants and blooming in all its glory right now is the narrowleaf sunflower, Helianthus angustifolia. This plant, like most of the sunflowers, was domesticated by Native Americans who used the plant for food, as a dye, and also for medicinal purposes. Now the seeds it produces are much smaller than many of the other sunflowers, but it's still a favorite of birds and some small rodents. We also see a number of insects utilizing the flowers. Now the common name narrowleaf sunflower comes, of course, from the very fine strap-like foliage. Another common name for the plant is swamp sunflower, and although it does grow naturally in marshes and bogs, any sun-soaked space will be a wonderful spot for the narrowleaf sunflower. It doesn't need those wet conditions. It's a fairly low maintenance plant, very easy to grow, and it'll reach a mature size of about 4 feet wide and up to 6 or 7 feet tall. We have a number of vines growing on our bridge which provide color throughout the seasons, starting in the spring with our native wisteria, followed by the honeysuckle, and in the fall, the colorful fruits of our American bittersweet are unbeatable. Celastris scandens, or American bittersweet, is a slower growing vine. Our plant here is fairly immature, but it will eventually reach heights of 20 to 30 feet. Now the colorful fruits provide a wonderful source of winter food for wildlife. However, all parts of the plant are poisonous to humans if ingested. The flowers appear in summer, but they're fairly inconspicuous, so the real ornamental value lies in the colorful fruits as well as the rich green foliage. American bittersweet prefers drier sites, and you want to be careful not to overwater plants. Now another wonderful plant for the autumn is autumn sage, Salvia gregii. And despite its common name, autumn sage, Salvia gregii actually will bloom throughout the season, but it never fails to put a wonderful show on in the fall. The species of this plant, Salvia gregii, produces red flowers, but there are many different cultivars, and these have flower colors ranging from yellow to orange, burgundy to white, as well as a variety of pinks and purples. This cultivar is called Pink Preference, and it is an Oklahoma proven plant. Salvia gregii is valued for its adaptability. It tolerates a wide range of soils and is very heat as well as drought tolerant. It has a very long bloom season, which adds to its value. The foliage has a nice soft texture, and the plants, different varieties, have different growth forms. Some of them are more upright and some are sprawling. If you find that your salvia is somewhat scraggly, you could come in early in the spring and cut it back to about 12 inches, and that'll encourage it to have a more compact growth habit. Or you could let it sprawl across more naturally. I'm always delighted to see Drummond's aster blooming in the fall. The numerous tiny lavender flowers just cover the plant, and to me it seems to behave more like an annual than a perennial because there's so many flowers, but it is in fact a perennial plant. And the flowers change like the leaves on a tree in autumn, starting with a beautiful yellow center and fading to a dusky purple.
We hope you've enjoyed this classic from the Oklahoma Gardening Vault. Remember, even though these tips and techniques are timeless, there's always something new to learn in the world of gardening. By subscribing to both Oklahoma Gardening and OK Gardening Classics, you'll have access to a wealth of gardening knowledge, both classic and contemporary.